Now I'm asking him to write it in a shell script. He started writing in a shell script. See. Okay. Now, if you see basically, for some of the steps, it has given parameters, right? Hyphen T4, right? See, 4 here. Okay. For some of the steps, it has given some parameter, right? Okay. So what I mean to say is, these are parameters. You no need to basically, if I'll come here, you no need to put it in the pipeline. This you can parse outside, because if I'm running the pipeline multiple times for the whole exam analysis, right? Always the parameter will not be same, right? The parameter will always change from person to person, or basically from place to place, from industry to industry, right? That's the reason we can pass parameters outside actually, not needed inside the pipeline. Okay, so you understood these things, right? I know you will face a little bit quirky understanding this because it's not that easy. So you have to hear the recordings, you have to see the examples that I'm showing you. And if you have to learn more, you have to follow up with Dr. Mix. Okay, so now last few years, what is happening? There are some workflow managers actually. What is workflow manager? They are some tools. They are some advanced tools or softwares actually. Again, it's open source for information. Okay, there are some advanced tools and softwares which by themselves they do everything. You don't need to do anything actually. You just come up here with a script, you come up with a pipeline, they will do everything. And why they are actually active in the market? What is the reason, sir? The reason for this is because in last 4 to 5 years, we are not using any servers which is present on-premise. There are two types of servers actually. We do analysis. One is your on-premise server, the other is basically cloud server. So when I say about on-premise, so this is a server which is basically present in the university or in the institute or in the company physically. Even your laptop is also a server, which is a physical. If I take and throw out of the window, I'm so sorry, you cannot do NGS analysis. Okay, but the cloud servers, they are not physical. They all are virtual actually. What you can do, you can create a virtual, you can create a small virtual CPU, and there you can do all your analysis. It can be small, it can be big, it can be very big, it can be very, very big, depending on your choice. Okay, so if we come to the cloud server, we have Amazon, which we call as AWS. Amazon provides this. The second is basically GCP. The full form is Google Cloud Portal. And the third is basically Azure. That is basically of Microsoft. So the most common used, very common used cloud services in the market is AWS actually. Okay, so this is a separate topic. If you want to learn about it, then we can arrange a webinar for you, or else you can go to Google and look to it, and you can, or you can just YouTube it. What is the AWS, or how best we can use cloud servers using AWS. So here in this AWS, there are multiple places. For example, if you get an account, okay, there are multiple types of account. Then it can be a personal account, it can be education account, it can be business account, a lot of things, right? So if you basically get an account, in this basically you can create multiple virtual CPUs. It means a CPU will get created in which there will be IP and password for you to log in, right? Or there is also multiple data storage. There is also multiple data storage facilities. Apart from data storage facilities, there is also multiple other facilities. There are more than 145 plus facilities. Every year, okay, every year in California, AWS used to do a event, okay? AWS used to do an event, and which they call as AWS reInvent. And in AWS reInvent, what happens? If there is any new services, they come and announce. If any companies, as we know that all companies, most of the companies, they are using AWS. For example, Sanofi, Pfizer, Novartis, or any other company, they have some success story using AWS services. They actually got some incredible success actually. For example, there is a company which was doing RNA-seq analysis, and for that RNA-seq analysis per sample it is taking 2 hours for them. So for in a day, if they want to analyze 200 samples, it's basically 200 into 2 hours. For them, a solution is developed, and that solution, using this next flow that we are going to talk about and using this pipeline engineering practice, the solution is so fast and so competitive and basically so, kind of robust. After running 500 samples, the sample is taking 3 to 3.5 minutes to complete end-to-end process in RNA-seq analysis. You can see there is a difference from 2 hours to 3.5. And again, it is on the same CPU. It's not on the other CPU. It's either on the same CPU or it's in a one step lower to that CPU. So you understood, right? So there are multiple things. So regarding this AWS reInvent also, you can basically come and explore here as per your choice. Okay. Yeah. So here basically you can see about AWS reInvent, and here in their places, if you see this 2 hour 7 minutes, right? So here they announce, as well as a lot of company, they come and talk about success stories in the healthcare side. Okay, we're quickly going to our side now. So I was talking about this. I'm removing this thing. So we are talking about the cloud servers, right? So we understood there are many varieties of developing the pipelines, and also the cloud servers come in between. Now to tackle that thing, since last few years, people's in NGS, basically in NGS industries or in multi-omics industries, they are fond of using workflow managers. There are multiple workflow managers for your information. And what are they? One is Cromwell. Okay, so Cromwell is, one is SnakeMake. One is Nextflow that we are talking about. Sometime before I said about CWL, right? CW is also one of a workflow manager. Okay, and more than that,